It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You will fall behind everyone in your life if you don't have this simple daily habit. I remember the pain of being a bad Muslim. Not because of my habits, but because of my heart. My iman was so weak. I was only really a Muslim by tongue, by outward appearances. My faith was very weak. I had such a distant relationship from Allah. And because of that, in my daily activities every day, I just feel shallow. Going to school, with family, with friends, I'd always feel behind, seeing everyone around me as better Muslims speeding ahead in life. And I like to blame it on everything else around in my life and all the factors that affected the way I thought about the world. But honestly, it's just cope, because really it was my own fault for being lazy. Because then came the second part of my life, or the second phase of my improvement, when I discovered this entire world of self-help, which involved going to the gym, meditating, journaling, all these kind of things that you see online all the time. And truth be told, when I started those things, I saw light at the end of the tunnel, and I actually began to improve. My quality of life began to improve, and yet I was still not fulfilled. Despite all of that, there was that missing link in my heart. Not only that, but the habits that I did have, I couldn't stick to them. I'd keep having these slumps, I'd keep falling off, and I would take myself less seriously in any realm of improvement. That was all until I finally went to the house of Allah. In February 2024, Allah invited me to His house, and I went there with my friends, and there I came upon something that has changed my heart since. Not my life, my heart. It has changed it. I built a habit that keeps me so tightly binded to Deen that even if my heart wavers away, even if Shaitan whispers to me and brings me away from Deen, there is something that Allah pulls me back every time. How beautiful is that? You see, there's plenty of guides online to improving your life, even improving your Deen, all of these things. But the one thing that you need is the guide that Allah has made for you. 1,400 years ago, it was revealed to us. And that is the Quran. You see, ever since Umrah, I wouldn't say daily, but pretty much every day, I read 1 to 2 pages of the Quran in good detail from start to end. I'm going through from start to end. See, since Umrah, every day, pretty much, almost, you see, since Umrah, pretty much every day, every night, before I sleep, I open the Quran and read just 1 to 2 pages, which is more than the 0 pages that I used to read last year, but 1 to 2 pages in detail. I started from the beginning, and the aim is to finish the whole book. I read it in Arabic, in English, looking at the translation, comparing the words in Arabic in detail. I understand the message that is being given. Every single ayat, I try and understand it. And 1 to 2 pages, trust me, is enough. It's enough to pull you back to Deen. It's enough to pull you back to Allah. Because when I do that every night, I go to bed reflecting on what I read. It's the last thing that was in my brain. So, of course, naturally, when I go to bed with no thoughts, that is what I'd be processing. I want you to imagine yourself doing the exact same thing. Not necessarily memorizing the Quran, but just every day dedicating just 5 to 10 minutes to reading 1 or 2 pages of the Quran in full detail, understanding every verse. Then tell me why any force in the world, if you truly believe in Allah, why any force in the world should turn you away from Deen ever again. Because if you're adhering to the guide that God Himself has given to you, then why would God misguide you? And that's exactly the logic behind it. Simple as that is what keeps me binded to Deen, is just reading what Allah has given to me, given to you, and given to all of us. You see, this is a non-negotiable habit. Every Muslim, especially in the West, needs to have this habit daily. This is what will secure you to your Deen. A simple habit. It is possibly the simplest thing I could have said. And yet it is the most powerful habit that you will have. Aside from the obvious things that we all know, the 5 pillars. If you want to hold yourself accountable, then join my Discord server below, where there's hundreds of other people with the same exact goals as you. You can message me anytime on my Instagram or Discord, and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, inshallah.